Split 2, welcome! We have an Emerald game because it represents a great average for everybody else. Jungle experience buffs, huge! New AP items, a lot of reworked items and fighter items. Don't get a leash in 2024, please. This goes for everybody. You don't need it. Better just to be unseen because this is a great ward that mid laners need to get used to placing so we can actually see where jungle's path and things like that. Now, the most important thing that we're going to look at in this game is what you should be doing to correct your split 1 jungling, because in this game, just judging by the KDAs and the nature of the stats in the post game, I saw stuff that was reminiscent of split 1, the unskilled split, because this split right now, jungle's going to be fun, it's going to be juicy, it's going to be good. I did some already coaching today, I did some extrapolation theory crafting yesterday in the private jungle Discord, and basically, let's get this out of the way right now. If you full clear, obviously here you get seen. If you full clear down, you do a scuttle crab, and say you started Raptors, important, did you start Raptors? And I think most people, if you can start Raptors now for this reason. Raptors, Krugs red, Walls Grub blue, Scuttle crab, go back up to your Raptors, because there's no ganks, nothing to do, unlucky. Then you do your Krugs, you will be level 5. You will straight up be level 5, and the time at which you will reach level 5, 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Now, obviously, if you go back to base, it is compromised slightly, but overall it isn't, right? Because if you do a full clear, do a scuttle, go back to base, get on the map into those Raptors at 4 minutes when they respawn, and you do the Krugs, you're level 5. So that's about I want to say 20-second improvement of your level 5 that you'd get in split 1. Now, most people were not getting level 5 at that moment. They should have been, but they weren't. And what that does mean as well is if you were to, say, throw in 2 more cams, another Scuttle Crab, and 1 Grub, you'd be level 6. You absolutely must head to Virkayu.gg. Not only do I have a free jungle improvement resource, I also have a dedicated program with jungle video courses, jungle coaching classes, a jungle VOD library, special weekly content you'll see nowhere else, as well as all of this hosted in a private jungle Discord. And if there is one thing I'm good at, it's making junglers go from low elo to high elo, as seen by the great number of success stories from the end of last season and already the beginning of season 14. So to climb faster than everybody you know and to jungle diff every game you play, head to Virkayu.gg or click the link in the description below. Early level 6 spiking is where we want to go in this particular meta, right? This is when sequencing becomes super important. Not only because, I was like, yes, maybe I can do something. I mean, I don't think the Vi should have gone for the scuttle here. I mean, like very clearly this guy's been pushing up here. Very clearly we're not going to get the gym, but why aren't we going bottom lane? Dude, there's no subs. This should be free kills from everybody, including your full combo. This should be a dead Xerath. Now, the importance of this is magnified when we have high experience in the jungle, because full clear, do the gank, pull back to the scuttle, gank this lane as well. Like if you can show up here and do something here, do it. Like you're basically not even finishing the scuttle crab, right? You kill the Xerath, you go here to do this, you see this, you're like, oh, I need to gank, and so you go gank this as well first, right? At this stage, I would assume that Sejuani has finished the scuttle crab, and I would assume that she will show up here and be a 2v2. I trust that we win that though, and also trust that I can kill the Tristana pretty quickly. I just saw her flash, I just saw her use the rocket jump. High cooldown on this ability, by the way, 22 seconds. So I know that this is a dead Tristana, right? So that's 2 ganks, and after that, when Sejuani shows up, let's just assume she shows up with 28 CS, I know the scuttle crab is dead. So I can go back to the scuttle crab, go back to base, poof, I'll be level 5 from these, and at the very least, level 5 from these, but you'll be level 5 from the respawn Krugs. Krugs, there we go. Krugs and Grubs, and I fuse them for some reason. And I think that's a big missed opportunity here by this Vi. Obviously, Tristana is going up. You would assume that Sejuani is here, but at this particular stage, you know, she hasn't shown up yet. And like, this is the slowest clear, I think, in the history of mankind. I don't know why she is in this. I mean, this is just how it goes, isn't it? This is just how it goes for the Sejuani, because if we go back in time and space and just look at her, she actually places this ward here, right? Now, I want you to speedrun this, all right? She obviously, at this stage, didn't get her red buff, all right? And that's the most important thing for us to note here. I obviously didn't, because I'm looking at you, we're talking about this, but you can see that Jhin here gets this red, and in lane, it's tough to always notice, but you really should look and see quickly. Because she doesn't, it really slows her clear down quite a bit, right? But most importantly, if I were to see the Sejuani here, I'd know she's not level 4, she doesn't have 24 CS, or you can kind of deduce these things. However, the Vi is a nice translation gank. Let's just watch how this develops here. Oh, it's a Poppy moment. Poppy moments are always big. We burn the flash. And Sejuani now goes down and is forced to go back to base. I don't know why in Emerald we have junglers First and foremost, losing your red. Again, you don't need a damn leash, but you shouldn't be losing your red anyway. But when you do, and you see the Vi show up here with 28, you know the Vi's done a full clear. Plus tab, you see 28, all right. I'm not going to do anything. And the fact of the matter, the fact that she goes and checks here instead of just basing straight up and accepting, look, I'm screwed a little bit, is a bit worrisome for me. Now, here the Vi is almost level 5, right? And here's the big thing about this. If Vi was able to push this up a little bit more, that's 5. So that would be a full clear, scuttle, gank, plus another gank, right? Plus a shove. And she's level 5 before she even touches these camps here. And the most important thing about this is that the experience you're getting, the boost of experience that you're getting while she does a dragon here, is not in that first clear. It's in the second clear, right? These camps that respawn first will be level 4, huge experience boost. Even more so on these camps that respawn level 5. Here it is, okay? 537. Oh, on the dot. You know how we talk about the timers, the respawn timers, 420, 440-ish, 5 minutes, 10, 537, just 537 on the dot. Once you do these, even without ganks, right? Just doing a scuttle crab and leeching a little bit of experience, you're level 6 pretty quickly. So the Vi here has done very well in the first rotation, but now she's being forced a little bit onto the map by the nature of the game, obviously. Okay, just seeing the flow of the situation and saying, well, listen, I need to make the ganking situation, see here I would have just flashed Eid. I guess you don't need to flash here. I mean, you can just prime your Q. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Don't need to do that. Silly me, ignore me. What I'm thinking about, though, that's a problem sometimes. That's why we pause on the coaching channel so we can explain things. This is fine, but this second rotation of camps isn't something I want to ignore. I want to leave alone. Now, imagine we're against a Karthus full clears. He definitely has this already. You know, if we start Raptors, he's already taken that away from us. He's gone back to base. He's gone boom, 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 boom. The guy's already finished off a second rotation. The guy's probably already doing a singular grub while you're ganking mid lane. The guy's level 6, and you're level 5 from your ganking. So the Vi's play a very good game, but the Karthus on the enemy team, or the Lilia or the Brand, would have already done 2 full clears, gotten a scuttle crab, maybe counter jungled you, and then a grub, level 6. And so basically, you've done a good job, but you're quite far behind hitting that spike. And the Sejuani now is going into the jungle here, and this is where things get even more interesting and dynamic. When you buff jungle experience like this, right, when you give it some juice, the junglers who play badly, the junglers who spam gank lanes when they shouldn't, who have terrible sequencing, all those junglers, right, like the Sejuani, for example, they are going to be able to catch up pretty quickly, not through catch-up experience, just by the raw amount of experience on the map that they can get. And especially when they're able to take level 5 camps. Now, the Sejuani obviously has gone back to base here, sacrifices the Poppy. We're going to lose this, obviously, to the other side. From my perspective as a Sejuani, I see this and I'm like, you know what? I could easily take my camps and go down here and be level 6. You will be. Boom, boom, boom. Level 6. Why? Because that's a level 5 camp, and a level 6 camp. And that's huge amounts of experience at this stage. So the camps you want to focus on controlling for yourself are the second rotation. The camps you want to focus on counter jungling are from the second rotation. Steal those camps away from the enemy jungler. And I don't know really what she's doing. That's why I kind of said that, right? Go here, go here, go here. Yes, you know the Vi is going to be there, but why would I want to go too deep counter jungling? I just need to control these camps. It will give me level 6, and that's more important than anything else. Vi has now done the grubs. The spike here for 6 is on the scuttle crab because that also was boosted with experience. So what I'm seeing from the Vi here is solid jungling, right? A little bit of ganking, not a lot of counter jungling, no real sequencing at this stage, just playing the flow. That's fine. There's a lot of experience to be had when she falls back to a jungle. The Sejuani, on the other hand, all she had to do was sequence as best she could, counter jungle a few camps here and there, make one counter gank or 2, and she'd be ahead if she had more CS, right? So there's a lot of experience being left on the map by the Sejuani's bad jungling, and while the Vi has left some experience on the map in terms of a farm, she wouldn't mind as much, right? Because she's getting gold leads and she's getting her laners ahead, which is exactly what you want to do, no doubt. But all I'm saying is, from the coaching earlier today, the Evelynn did a great job sequencing, getting an early level 6, played decently well. Any Lilia played terribly, spam gank bottom lane, do some camps, spam gank bottom lane, do some camps, and all of a sudden, because the Evelynn didn't counter jungle in crucial moments, because the Evelynn died twice with some silly plays, all the Lilia had to do was counter jungle one quadrant at a very high level of campage, because the Evelynn was sequencing, boom, the Lilia had caught up and was the same level as the Evelynn. So remember this. Your punishing of mistakes in both directions is critical in this particular season when it comes to counter jungling. And I would really like to see some precision-based sequencing, precision-based counter jungling, really be used against the heavy gankers, because if you do that, you're going to actually be in a great place, especially counter jungling wise, especially counter ganking wise, and I think that's pretty big. Level 5 Grump here being taken at 9 minutes. This is what I'm talking about. You can't complain about being down a level when you're doing a second rotation camp at 9 minutes. When should we be doing this? 5:37. 5:37 this respawn, and that's 9 minutes. That's not maximizing your experience in Season 14 Split 2. And you have to. Whatever form that takes. Whether you're a farmer, a counter jungler, a map controller, a ganker, a fister, it doesn't matter what class of champion you are. The more experience in the jungle makes the jungle more swingy in everybody's position, right? If you're ahead, you're behind, you're equal, ganking, farming, invading. When there's more jungle experience, you are more liable to be screwed over by your own mistakes, provided you get punished by the enemy jungler. And the Sejuani here is just AFK farming. But she's not actually farming the whole time, is she? She's not sequencing, she's only counter jungle one camp, she's got no objectives. This is horrific jungling. And again, this is the whole point I'm trying to drive home here. That Vi has played well, reasonably. But she could have done better. She could have a better sequencing. Oh, just take the kill. Good job. However, if you are a jungler and you're watching this, you're watching the Vi, what are you seeing overall? Moments to counter jungle her, right? If she goes for grubs, I do dragon. If she goes for dragon, I do grubs. If she goes to my top side, I take her bottom side. If she ganks my mid laner, I gank her bottom lane, right? Like, there's always some equal and opposite that you can do against the Vi in this particular situation, which the Sejuani has not done. Like, look at this here. The Sejuani, right, has no ult, obviously. There we go, sorry, wrong vision toggle. But she has the ability to get this kill here. Too late. Xerath gets it, fine. We should have showed up first, and maybe we saved our flash a little bit. Like, now we can do stuff 3v2, because Sat's mid lane, Tristana's rotating, and this is just terrible jungling by the Sejuani. And the Vi is not necessarily punishing her, it's just letting her punish herself. But all I'm saying is, if the Sejuani did a few things differently, played smart, played well, she'd be in a great position. And the Vi's done a great job, as I agree with this, but there's no reason why the Vi couldn't be even further ahead than she is. But yeah, basically that's experience in a nutshell as you see it work here. 4 to 6 KP, that's fantastic. We're going to go to this dragon. Sejuani's now just going to decide to go and Omega Fist this because they have numbers advantage, so we lost track of what was going on there. Nice Q to avoid the root. Misfortune shows up, she ults over the wall here. Nami presses ult, hits absolutely nothing. Tristana's going to go deep into the back line. So Set is going to show up here with his bonus damage to monsters, and there we go. Oh, poor Set gets stunned. You know, I'm not a fan of these kinds of things. Now, if you're the Sejuani and you see this numbers advantage, you're like, yes, let's go. Factor in that the red team's coming out of base. And if we take this fight and we kill everybody and we get the dragon, it's good. But what's the risk threshold? Now, from my perspective, as I explained in the main channel video last week, no. Take, cut, take, ink, or take. Or just take this first because you're a win jungler, but see this, understand this, and go opposite. The counter jungling moment here for someone who's behind is big, right? Level 8 camp, level 7 camp. Okay, not really that great, but that's because of the counter jungling. But imagine if you're Sejuani and you're behind you've had a rough game. Really, we've had a shitty game. But if we took these camps away and took this away and fell back into this one, here, level 8 camp, here, level 8 camp, that's massive, right? That's where their peak experience is now. They nerfed it from level 9. But the Sejuani's only level 7. So she'd be getting a huge slingshot of experience just by saying, okay, look, you take the dragon, I'm going to take everything on the map and camps and experience, and all of a sudden, you're doing a great job, right? So that means, yes, farming jungler and counter jungling is strong. Why do you think Nidalee is so broken? Because she can do everything. Why do you think Karthus is so strong? Because Blackfire Torch, the item, is broken. But the guy can just sequence and get early level 6s and then use that item to obliterate you. There's not much you can do against him. And now look at this here. You see what I'm saying? The Sejuani is level 8. The Vi is basically the same experience. The Grub gives the level 8 here. They're the same experience level, but the Vi is up 8 CS. But there's been no experience maximization by either jungler at all. The Smithy ult, not so good. It's really a case of the Vi decided to be gank and flow based and make things happen for a team, which is fantastic. And all the Sejuani had to do was pick counter jungling, counter ganking moments, and every failed situation the Vi was in, the Sejuani would be getting a huge advantage just by those experiences in the jungle. So The Vi is a great baseline for all of you to follow. Just understand that you can be punished. And again, a third and second rotation of camps, the level 4, 5, and 6 camps are the ones that slingshot you big time. You want to control the early game, transition to the mid game, get the dragons and grubs. That's where the power lies. See, look at this. Huge now. This is huge now. This is exactly what we want. This is what I want, but not at 14 minutes, and we'll check the gold in a second, but at 7 minutes, right? At 9 minutes, at 6 minutes, at 5:37 minutes. Can I get in their faces and steal their stuff away? Huge. Gold amount 5.4 to 4.5, and that kind of drives the point home here. We're also liking gold a little bit from where we could be. I mean, it's obviously 205. If we have a few more kills, you'll have 6,000 gold. Obviously, that's been boosted up as well. But, well, the goon squatting experience and things like that, gold is, shifting. So you're gonna get less of a benefit from goon squatting at this particular stage in the game in exchange for having higher experience early. So if you're gonna get higher experience early, the set goes really deep here. She just finished it. I'm with the buy there. Just finish off the Herald. If you're gonna get this bonus experience, what in the living hell is that mobile game's Raid Shadow Legends? Oh, I haven't seen it in game yet. Well, that's awful. I mean, I know it's something where maybe you have to get used. I mean, I would still build Sundered Sky, I guess, but let's see. I'm not talking about builds today. I'm not someone who's gonna go and pretend I invented a build path that I didn't invent and promote it as such, or talk like a build is guaranteed to work when we haven't even tested it or seen data. So I'll test my things. I'll look at the data. I'll speak to some people. We'll have the full picture, and then we'll talk about items. Probably more so next week than this week. The next one, the diamond video for coaching this week. I'll do a silver one as well. We'll see what to do and what not to do in a bit different situation here. However, I'm happy with what the Vi did. I wasn't really happy with leaving the camps on the map for so long in the second rotation. And then if you're going to be ignoring that, the most important thing is to defend against the counter jungling, which we did because the Sejuani did it. But a better jungler would punish you. So, aimless jungling it is for Sejuani Pig Gaming. Vi is now doing a lot of catch-up here. The mid-game farming spike is going to be absolutely massive. We're level 10 now, almost level 11. Sejuani is nowhere near level 10. Do you see that slingshot as well? The Vi just took a whole bunch of camps quickly. We were pretty equal, right? Took a whole bunch of camps, took the Herald, and now look, 117 to 82. The experience is basically 2 levels, 1.9 levels, just from this moment. Now imagine doing that the whole game. This could be a 3-level lead. That's kind of the point I'm bringing forth to you. Obviously here, I'm not a huge fan of ulting the Tristana here unless we know a rocket jump is down and we can kill her straight up, but it works out for us, obviously. We're so far ahead at this stage. Wait. It's fun. I had not looked at the gold amount, and I knew the vein was inting, and I get that, but it feels like we're way further ahead. And you look at the gold amount, it's like 300 gold lead only, right? Only 300 gold lead, but then look at the Vi. 2,000 gold lead over the Sejuani, right? The mid lane is actually down versus Tristana because plates are a thing and shutdowns are a thing and farm is a thing. The set's down 30 CS. ADC-wise, our Misfortune's actually down versus Jim by 300 cash money gold, and Nami is actually only up 100. So the big gold lead here is on the jungle's gauntlets, and that's exactly what you want when you're trying to win, right? You want to be the person in control. And the Vi is in control, and the team have actually not followed up and done a very good job. And here, I don't like being in this situation. The map is Vortex. By that, I mean, this still isn't taken. Fog of War, this is taken but wasn't shoved in, so Fog of War. Now, we got Deep Vision, which is great. Thank you, Nami. But I don't like overstaying here in this situation. We should be moving around the map, pushing bot, pushing mid, collapsing top, taking that wave away, that turret away, excuse me, using, my phone's making noises, sorry. Taking this away, taking this as well, push the whole map up. All the Vi did was go mid lane, force a fight that doesn't necessarily want to fight. The whole team has over 1,000 gold in pocket. Over 1,000 gold in pocket. Massive. Absolutely massive. And, it's not the kind of stuff you really want. I mean, why use the Herald mid lane here? Go top lane or somewhere like you. It's the best Herald I've seen in my life. 4v1 with a Herald, 1,200 gold in pocket. Emerald. They always deliver the comedy. And again, not to drive the point home too much, but I think I'm going to have to. When you leave your camps up early and you take a level 5 grub, 9 minutes, you're not maximizing your experience. I don't care what the flow of the map is. There's always windows to do these camps. And again, I covered this in the main channel video on the weekend. I knew this was coming up. So I kind of looked for some stuff from the coaching sessions I had and just turned them into videos. It's literally what that was. Showing, hey, these situations cannot occur in Split 2 because you will be punished or you will not have the lead you should have. And as such, you can't actually carry the game. Because being able to carry games is about having huge leads. Look at this. They're just goon squatting, all right? And yes, they've nerfed the goon squatting. As by... This just... Okay, I'm just going to re-say what I said. You guys will never know what I said, but it wasn't, I think, a coherent language. The shared kill experience has gone down at this particular phase in the game to compensate for the early experience buff. So even though these people are doing this and running around together and making these fights, you can say, well, okay, look, they're getting less PvP gold in the game. There's less PvP gold in the game as well. And they're getting less experience at this stage. But it doesn't matter if you're always dead. No. It just means that the leads you get early are tantamount to your success in League of Legends. Because you're going to get a little less experience later for everybody involved, including you when you're goon squatting. So the experience you can get, think of it like a percentage. 100% of the experience by 14, 15 minutes is almost impossible to get, but those will be the games you truly 1v9, right? That's what you're looking to do. Maximize your early game experience so that the lesser PvP gold you get in the game, the lesser group kill experience that you get in the game doesn't affect you. Now, the blue team have decided to completely retreat off of this. I think the red team had the right idea here, right? It was like, oh, they're on the Baron, and actually decided to just... Blue team were like, what if we just based and give the Baron away? We're so fun. So, free Baron for the red team. At this particular stage, you just want to turn and fight and get out, obviously. Don't overcommit too much here. Vayne's going to go, there we are, and the gold lead now is still only 1,000. Yeah, Vice 517. The build is fine. Not a huge fan of this build unless you are like super far ahead, which she kind of is, but still like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about builds because I'm going to go on a whole rant about shitty itemization and we don't need that. So Dragon's about to spawn here. What is this? Like you're walking around and hitting plants and things like this, that's great, but why can't you just go ahead and do the Grump quickly? You've got the vision control, you don't need to go and wander around. Well, here's a Justin, the Poppy, excuse me. Another Yordle. It's a Yordelism. Sorry, no, they're not the same. Ults from the Jhin. Justana's top lane here. She obviously does not have TP. So we're going to full commit to this fight. And Sejuani does a good ult onto the Misfortune's ult here. Poppy's able to take the dragon, knocks the Vi away. His Vi's going to enter the fight back again. Vayne's able to get the cleanup kill on the backline on the Jhin. We have Set trying to fight the Sejuani as well as Poppy by himself. Poppy's going to then hit the fish against the wall, and Tristana split pushing. Yeah, just Fiesta nonsense. The Vi hasn't dictated the pace of this mid game as much as she should have, except like right now she is. But you should be able to kill, you know, these Tristanas. Your lead should be as such in the game. Carefully here now, because Set's in base and Vayne has no TP, guys. Everyone's gonna respawn. Vi, are you doing this? Uh-oh. Okay, good. Good. Still though, like we're sitting with 1,500 gold. Now you're staying with 1,500 gold. You could have just pushed this, fallen back to this, taken this, now reset, now run straight down Q all the way to join your team, and re-siege. He doesn't do it. Vayne spell pushes and dies. Vi decides to do Raptors randomly. Shove. Now she's deciding to do the Scuttle Crab. Again, not maximizing experience in the mid-game. Now she's going back to base. The other team are just chilling, full sequencing their camps. Sejuani's level 12, we're level 13. You should be at least 3 levels up on someone like the Sejuani this game, there's no question. Poppy does interrupt the fight. Like, why are you going into the situation, putting yourself in that position? I mean, there's no reason to be there whatsoever. And because you're now the one carrier in the game that had the huge ass lead, and still does, like, you're up 1,000 gold, you have a 2,000 gold lead, your Vayne has another, you know, well, basically the Vayne's at almost a 2,000 gold lead herself, which means your mid lane is really far behind, which means your ADC is actually equal here and your support's a little bit far behind. So you and your top lane are the people that need to do the business. If your Vayne isn't in the picture, and there's not a fight that you can win numbers-wise, don't be there, right? Poppy. Ult. Oreoed. Now the back line in the meantime. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Nonsensical nonsense. Now Vi's by herself, and she causes to occur. No one kills anybody. Baron respawns. Blue team are like, hey, let's do this. ADCs are now pretty damn strong in the late game. Yeah. I know Blackfire Torch is strong. I know Jungle Experience, when used well, is pretty strong at the moment, but I don't want to hear any bitching from ADCs when you're doing this. Alright? No complaining. No complaining. It's a skill-based role. If you can't get to the stage, you're a problem. This right here, don't complain. You're a late game powerhouse now. Your items are super strong just like they used to be. Shh. Just play your game. If you get camped by the jungle, ward back up, sag off, don't end. Not very difficult. I know, I play bottom lane too. Play every role. Part of understanding the game at a deeper level and a heightened level. Obviously, I suck ass in some of those roles. But at least I understand that I suck ass in those roles. ADC, I'm an atrocious beast. You know, it's unnatural. I should be permabanned when I lock it in. That's why I don't lock it in. I lock in the Zyra, the AP damage. You know, if someone wants to go Swain, I'll do some Ornn with him. Yeah, I'll do the Senna. I've played Senna to Master Tier Plus, so I can do Senna. But the point more so is, I understand as a jungler, and I think all of you resonate with this. When you're playing other roles, don't need to pause for that. When you're playing other roles and you main jungle, when you're in that role, it's always a good exercise to track the enemy jungler anyway, watch your jungler play, not die to ganks that are obvious, make the good play around your jungle, not int your lanes, win your lanes, trade your lanes, freeze your lanes, whatever your lanes. But you do a good job of it, right? And if you don't, you understand, oh, you know, I understand why my laners struggle when there's a laner, when there's a jungler camping them, right? Like if you're playing ADC and you're getting camped a lot by the enemy jungler and you're dying, but you're a jungle main, why are you not tracking properly? You know, is that an issue, or were you tracking correctly, but potentially you just didn't ward, right? And you can always look at it from a perspective of, hey, if I'm a laner but I play jungle and I'm feeding the enemy jungler Y, assimilate that Y into your own jungling. Now, you could be in a lane, and a great example is me playing Zyra and Ezreal. Here, I'll just pause. We like to prio. Like to win this lane hardcore, right? Now, if I know as a jungler that the enemy jungler started here and they're coming down, they're gonna kill me. I need to understand how to bounce this wave back, or just play in a way that I don't get free ganked, especially if my jungler is going topside. But I have to pay attention to that. I have to reconcile the pathing of the junglers with the way I'm playing the lane. And when my jungler does path down, first rotation, okay, I will rebound the wave, or I'll just let them push in, so that my jungler can get the gank off, right? And I think just thinking about that from a laner and a jungler relationship is really important. Now, ADCs and most laners don't do that, but you as a jungler, learn lane. Seriously, understand why sometimes laners int. And a lot of the time, you'll find they int because you are not present, because you are not ganking the lane, because you are not shutting down the enemy jungler. However, that's the coaching talk about the mentality of dealing with the lane. That being said, ADCs, please don't randomly int when we ping and they show up rewards. You got to do your part as well. I'll help the junglers, help your lane, but you also got to not feed the enemy jungler in stupid situations. Regardless, this game devolved into nonsense, so I stopped talking about it and started speaking hypothetically, because the Vi threw her lead, she didn't build properly, she didn't maximize her experience, the Sejuani just had to exist and be a meat shield, and she caught up. So, there's some talk about the experience, what you probably shouldn't be doing in this game, in the split 2, but a nice little look at what the ADCs can do, and you know they can do 2v Baron at 27 minutes. Yeah, this will get more refined. A lot of I just want to get some thoughts out, get some ideas out as we go through this week. Obviously, I'm going to refine this as I do my own games and study some more, and obviously scout high elo, pro play, so bullshit. See you all in the next one.